Indestructible Gaming. Select your character. Musket Shot. Mr. K. Let the battle begin. Get ready for a battle unknown. 3, 2, 1.
Hello and welcome to Indestructible Gaming and more. I am Musket Shot. Alongside me is my co-host, Mr. K. Mr. K, hello.
Hey, how's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another exciting episode of Indestructible Gaming and more.
That's right, another exciting episode. This week we're talking about a game. We played the demo game of it. I don't remember if it's out yet.
No, I don't think it is.
I don't think it's out yet officially, but you can play the demo. The release date is sometime this year. A game called Stick It to the Stickman. And it's developed by Free Lives. They're out of South Africa. And they actually have a number of games out. They formed in, I think 2012. So they have a number of games out. Let's see if you know any of these here. One's called Gorn, Gorn.
Oh, yep, that's a VR game. I have that one.
Oh, okay. Good.
That one's a pretty fun one. That's like a kind of like a gladiator battle type game.
Oh, okay.
Where you fight people in a gladiator arena, use different weapons and unique stuff like crab hands or some other stuff, and you can tear them apart limb from limb if you really wanted to, and use their heads against the enemies, gladiatorial stuff.
That's cool. I didn't know you had that one.
Yeah, that's a really fun VR game. I haven't played VR in a while.
Oh. Huh.
It's only because the Oculus 2 is so expensive.
Yeah.
Because, they're already getting out with another one, so.
Yeah, of course they are.
And it's going to be like $1,000, and I'm like, oh, I'm good.
Yeah.
I ain't touching that.
Yeah. Another game they have is called Bro Force.
Oh, Bro, I know that one too. That one's actually, I think they're getting a new one.
I think there's an update to it or something that's coming
No,
out.
I think it's a brand new game if I remember correctly.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah. But I think, I haven't played it myself, but I know of it, and if I remember correctly, it's a run and gun where you play as parody of characters from movies.
Oh, okay.
But no matter like what gender they were from the movies, they always make it a bro.
Okay.
I think I'm probably incorrect, but I think one of them was like Ellen Broly or something like that instead of Ellen Ripley.
Oh, okay.
From Alien. So it was like something like that. If it's not that, it's along the lines.
Something.
They like just changed the name slightly just to include bro in it.
That's funny.
I think one of them was Alexander Broliton. I don't know. I think I'm wrong about that. I don't remember.
Well,
they have a lot.
If it's not, it should be.
I know they have Rambro. That's like the main character.
Nice. Another one's called Cricket Through the Ages.
All right, that one's new to me. Never heard of that one.
Don't know what that one is. And then
probably about cricket.
Yeah. This one is I have seen video of this on their website, and I was laughing hysterically when I saw it. Genital Jousting. That's
a classic game.
Yeah,
I don't think we need to say more than that.
Yeah, we'll let you if you're really curious
leave
about
it to your imagination.
Yeah, if you're really curious about it, look it up. You'll either be laughing hysterically or be horrified by what you see, but I'm not sure.
Either way, it'll be funny.
Yeah. But they have another game that I played a demo of that I really liked. It was called Terra Nil, which is kind of like a rebuilding of a like almost like a desert or dead earth or world or something like that, and you gotta rebuild it. It was pretty cool. I liked the demo of it. So so that one's another one that they've got that they're I think that's might be coming out this year as well. I'm not sure. But we're gonna talk about Stick It to the Stickman, which I said again is coming out I think later, sometime this year. Doesn't really say. It just says 2023.
I think it is sometime this year.
Yeah, right now I don't see it listed on their site being a game that's going to be on other consoles. Other than it says it's going to be available on Steam right now, but I wouldn't be surprised if this shows up on other consoles and stuff. And it's published by Devolver Digital, so you know what Devolver Digital makes as far as games. So if you've played a lot of the roguelite type games, Devolver Digital is usually involved in a lot of those, and a lot of fighting games and other things like that. So they're pretty well backed on this, so that's good. Do you want to tell a little bit about the storyline on this game?
There's not really much of a story. It's kind of just like you're the new guy to the job, and you just want to climb the corporate ladder and become the boss. That's pretty much the story.
Mm-hmm.
And get accepted by these corporate gods.
Yeah,
they're big. They're really big corporate people. They're just, I don't know what else to call them.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they kind of seem like, they're in the clouds. They're just,
yeah,
they talk down on you and all that. And if you don't accept their offer, they pretty much just kill you.
Yeah, and the demo we played, it's you basically, I played for probably an hour and a half or so. It was just in one building, but based on screenshots I've seen, it looks like it goes to.
There's a lot more to it than it seems.
A lot more to it, which is good.
Yeah. I guess the demo gives you a little taste of what the main stuff is going to be.
Yeah, and
how it mainly works.
You get hired by this company, and like the first thing you got to do is go there and then basically fire your friend. And by firing your friend, it means beat the hell out of them, which is pretty funny in a way. Pretty funny, but
the reason why it's funny is because the fighting in the game is very erratic. It's not really. They're not. It's not like normal fighting. Not at all.
Yeah, there's stick people, but with a little bit of more beef to them. But they're stick
beef
people.
And like ragdoll physics.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, so when you punch them and kick them, they go flying, and your body's like wobbly all over the place. And
of course, it's not only punching, kicking, but we'll get to that later.
Yeah. So, like Mr. K was saying, you're trying to climb the corporate ladder, which you're literally trying to climb the corporate ladder in this at times, because you are climbing up ladders sometimes to get from one level to the next level, or you're taking an elevator. So you're always trying to go up to the next floor. So this is where it gets into that whole roguelike, I guess, action and what's typical roguelike. You go to almost like the same place and start over again, but different characters sometimes you have to fight and stuff like that.
Yeah, pretty much the roguelike checklist.
Yeah. And as you go up the levels, sometimes you grab different things there that give you different weapons or different abilities and stuff like that. So you might have a different punching, different kick, different moves. You might have different weapons, which
and as well as getting all these different weapons, you can also upgrade these attacks as well, and these weapons as well to make them even better and stronger.
Right.
Which can lead to pretty funny moments, and if you can be strategic with this game as well, which is one of the cool aspects of it.
Yeah.
You can just choose whatever you want in terms of moves, but some moves actually work better together, which is a really cool idea. Like, for example, there's one that's like a bicycle kick. That's it's not one of the basic moves you unlock, but it's a move, or maybe it was, I can't remember, but it's one of the moves you can get. And there was this other move that's a roll, but when you're rolled, it makes a black hole come out from behind you. And when you roll right past the enemies. And I don't know if we mentioned this. It's imagine like a side scroller that goes up. This isn't like a top down. This isn't 3D. It's kind of 3D. It had 3D people, I guess.
Yeah.
In a 3D environment, but it's in a 2D area. It's hard to explain. No, it's not 2.5D. 2.5D is different. But yeah, you can, if you do the bicycle kick and then have that roll, it does pretty good damage because it sucks the enemies right to it. So after you kick them, you pretty much just kill them. I mean, you can be strategic with this game, but you can also just do whatever you want. It's pretty open.
Yeah.
In terms of combinations, and as well as different attacks and all that, you have different characters that start off with different abilities,
right?
And they have different quirks about them. And for the demo, they had a ton. I can only imagine what the real game's going to be like.
Yeah, I know. I was surprised at how many characters you could play as, because
it was at least like 12, I think.
Yeah, because I did a video of the demo of the game. It's on our YouTube channel, Indestructible Gaming and More. So you'll see Stick It to the Stickman. Yeah, there's some button mashing and stuff like that, but there's different things you grab and weapons and stuff. There's all kinds of different characters that each time when you get up to the top, a lot of times you unlock a different character. So
yeah,
like a jogger. I think there's like a janitor.
There's a lazy person. There's I'm just going to call him a foodie. I don't remember the actual term they used.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was just a slob. I remember now. But the interesting thing about this, though, is that when you get the moves for your characters and actually make it to the top, if you choose, of course, I said earlier, if you don't choose to work with them, you die. But what happens if you do choose to work with them? Well, you get the promotion. And the cool thing about this is, when you do your next run and you get to the top, you fight yourself, your past character, with all of his moves, and he's just a little stronger. So it makes it interesting. So you kind of know what you're facing against. Right. It's kind of like you're fighting yourself in a way. And I find that really cool idea.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of games that do that.
Yeah, I like the way the game plays and feels. It's fun.
It's very loose. It's a loose, fun game.
Yeah, even if you die at the end and stuff like that, it's still a fun game. I felt like it was enjoyable to play
whatsoever.
Yeah,
and that's what makes it really fun.
Yeah,
and once you beat the tower, or even lose, you get money at the end of it.
Yep.
And you can use that money to unlock stuff in the place. Either it's a character or it's a new section of the building that'll have a new mini boss, or even it's a simple like toilet area. You can just sit down in the toilet and think about what you're doing in this building and want it.
Yeah, there's cups of coffee that you'll drink occasionally through the game that sort of like revives your health. There's all kinds of different weapons they have. One of my favorite ones was the glue gun, which you can shoot at people and have them stick to a wall or ceiling or something like that, and beat the hell out of them.
Some of these moves actually give the enemies unique animations for them, and that's what makes it really interesting. I think my favorite ranged weapon was probably the minigun. That just causes a lot of chaos, and it does really good damage.
Yeah. There's I think a nail gun or something like that too.
The nail gun's pretty good.
You can shoot at people. It's funny too when you hit people. Sometimes they fly out of a window and break the window.
I was just about to mention that. Yeah.
So which can happen to you too.
Except the difference is when you kick an enemy out the window or whatever, they die instantly. But when you get kicked out the window or whatever, you just come back to the elevator, wherever the nearest elevator is.
Right.
It's not like you die instantly, which I feel like is good, because sometimes you can even kick yourself out by accident with a specific move. That happened to me multiple times with that specific role I mentioned earlier, where I accidentally try to go for someone, they dodge the attack, and I go straight out the window. So I'm happy they don't punish you for that.
Right, yeah. That
maybe in another mode they will, but not here.
Yeah, and you don't... I felt another good thing about it was they're pretty generous with your life. You didn't even if you were getting beat up pretty good, you didn't die like quickly. Yeah,
there's even like health pickups they can drop for you at certain times, and it's timed. I don't remember how long it is, but it's timed, and you get it from sometimes you get it randomly, but it seems like also you sometimes get it after killing a certain amount of people, or if you're just in a certain encounter. Like, say, if there was a room and a bunch of enemies start coming at you, they'd probably drop you one just in case.
Right.
But that's also how you get the weapon upgrades as well. If you kill enough people, it'll show up.
Right.
And the same goes with the doors that let you choose different abilities. Those can just show up, but they also show up if you kill enough enemies. It's kind of like an XP bar underneath your health.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a pretty cool aspect. It rewards you for doing well.
And each time you get to pick an ability within the game, sometimes there's a number of choices to pick. So sometimes you got to kind of really think like, which one do I really want? It's kind of, sometimes it's tough to decide which one.
That's why I'm also saying it's kind of strategic. Because you got to think about what moves would probably work best with your play style.
Right.
Because, say, for example, there's a character that's a coffee addict, and that gives you a lot of health when you drink coffee. Of course, some of the moves are not unlimited. Some of them will go away after a little bit. Like, for example, the coffee addict drinks coffee. They can only do it 3 times, and that's it. And once it's gone, it's gone until there's an ammo crate that gets dropped and you can refill it. But I don't think we mentioned it, but we should probably talk about how the moves actually work.
Okay, yep.
You don't pick the moves in order. It's a list. And basically, you only press like the one. Of course, you have the jump, but you press the one button to attack. And when you attack, it goes through the list one by one. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter because they drop you like the ammo packs and all that. So even if you ran out of coffee or something like that, you can just pick up an ammo pack if you see it and you can just get it back. It's not that big of a deal. It's not going to put you at a disadvantage.
Right.
Like, I had a run where I lost, of course, but I wanted to see how it would go. I did a coffee addict run, and all I did, no matter what I saw, I pretty much just had the coffee only. I mean, of course, I had some attacks as I had to. Because there's another aspect to getting these moves. You have 3 moves to choose from, but there's a 4th one where you can re-roll it. And I think it's 3 times you can re-roll it. 3 or 2.
Yeah, I can't remember now.
I think it's 2.
3.
It might be 2.
Yeah.
So I feel like 3 would be overkill.
I thought it was 3.
Maybe it is 3. But, and I don't remember for sure if it's shared between each door you get your moves from.
I think it is.
I think it is shared. Yeah, it was shared. So it's probably wise to keep your die unless you really wanted to find a certain weapon or a certain ability. But yeah, that's pretty much how the moves work. It goes one by one in a certain order. You don't get to choose what order it goes in. But that's not an issue because the game is the difference between this game and other roguelikes. I will be honest. This game, not as difficult as other ones.
Right.
Like, if you play the Binding of Isaac or Enter the Gungeon, and then you go to this game, significantly easier. Yeah. That's not a bad thing, though, because this game makes it up for that with a lot of fun, a lot of optional stuff, and it's really cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of humor to it, too, which is good.
Oh, yeah, the humor is great, especially when you hear the enemies chatter in the game. Because they do chatter at you from time to time. And the screams are really funny, too. Sounds sadistic, but it's...
Yeah, there's one enemy that he, like, basically keeps talking to you and kind of puts you to sleep by boring you to death.
Yeah. And they don't, like... And he doesn't, like, talk normal. He's like... Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
It's just gibberish.
Yeah.
But it's mostly gibberish. But
yeah.
Every once in a while, you get like a "hey" or something like that.
Yeah.
It's just a simple word. They don't go like full sentences unless it's the people at the top of the building. Those are like the only people that talk in coherent sentences. There are, in the beginning, if I remember correctly, there are speech bubbles.
Right, yeah.
So they do technically talk, but not exactly.
Yeah, they have. Yeah, and that one of the other villains I remember just off the top of my head is one that kind of like Darth Vader uses the Force on you, kind of Force chokes you.
Oh yeah, like the
Yeah,
psychokinetic.
yeah, yeah. I don't know. I thought it was a lot of fun to play. It just
Oh yeah.
I mean
If
it.
if you want to get your toes into a roguelike before you go on to the big ones, this is a very good game to start with.
Mm-hmm.
I would agree. I would put if when this game releases, I'm sure I'll like it way more than the demo,
Oh yeah,
and I am sure I'll probably like it just as much as I do with the Binding of Isaac and Enter the
yeah,
Gungeon.
yeah. This is one of those roguelikes I would actually have no problem buying and playing because I
And
like the way it
Musket
play.
Shot doesn't really like roguelikes, so this is
I
huge.
yeah. Yeah, I'm not a huge roguelike fan. So I mean, for me to say that it's pretty good. So I like the way it plays and I enjoy
Yeah,
the action in the game. So
and I'm sure the game won't be too expensive when it releases. Probably like 15, 30. It
yeah.
depends how much is in there.
Yeah. I definitely am looking forward to seeing like what the other levels are like too and stuff.
Yeah, I
So,
mean, it looks, and I didn't mention this earlier because I forgot to. One of the good things about the game visually is that your character is always blue and never changes color, and every other character is going to be red.
hmm
So you never get lost in the chaos. That's another good thing about
right.
it. No matter where you are, you're going to know where you are. Because there are times where they will send waves after you. Like there was this one part where I was in this place and there was this one dude and he called back up and I don't know, he sent like children after me.
Yeah.
They were like small little stick figures.
Yeah.
And there was a ton of them. It was actually lagging a little bit because there was way too many. But I stuck it through. It was really fun. I enjoyed it. But I didn't get lost.
Yeah.
And they can absolutely just cover you. I mean, it's nothing like too crazy. You're not going to be like screaming, but
hmm
it's manageable. But
Right.
it's very funny when you see your character being absolutely covered by little tiny stick people.
Yeah.
It's kind of like I don't know, like a crowd going on to you.
Yeah. It is funny. It's even funnier when you start throwing them off you too, and you're just launching them all over the place. Sometimes throwing them out windows or
Oh yeah, it's really funny when you have like something like a tornado kick,
yeah.
and you just whip them out the window. Some of the stuff you can pull off is very satisfying.
Yeah, it is.
That's another good game. That's another good reason for you to look into this game.
Yes,
It's
definitely.
very satisfying to pull off some of the moves, and like there's some really cool combos you can do. Like there's one that's like a backflip kick, and it kicks them to the ceiling.
Yeah.
And that's a really good move. You can follow that with pretty much anything. Like I remember I did that once, and I immediately took out the minigun and shot the guy that was on the ceiling. Like you can do a lot. I mean, it's one of those games that it looks very limited at first, but then once you start to dig into it more, and you're kind of like, wow, that you can do a lot in terms of gameplay and how you want your game to go. You can make the game harder for yourself if you really wanted to.
Right.
I'd say if you haven't touched roguelikes and you are interested in it, I would definitely recommend at least. I mean, it's the demo. It's free. Why not?
Right. Got nothing to lose.
It's on Steam, not on Xbox yet, sadly, but I'm sure it'll come to the console.
I think so.
Or PlayStation, or wherever you play your games.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll come to that eventually, if not when released.
Right. Yeah, definitely. So what would you rate it out of a 1 through 5? Since it's a demo that we played.
I know. I'm probably a 5.
Yeah.
I liked it that much. I actually spent a good amount of hours in this one little demo. Like, it was at least, I don't know, it was a good amount of hours because it was so much to do. If I could look right now, immediately I would tell you. But
yeah,
But it was a good amount. It was a good amount of time.
Yeah.
You can spend a lot of time on this. I mean, especially if you want to go out of your way and beat the tower with every single character.
Right.
Because of course you're not going to win all the time because you're going to have different moves each time. I mean, it's a roguelike. That's how it works. But
yeah.
I think the music was pretty good. I'll be honest, I never really paid attention much to the music.
No, I didn't either. Yeah.
But it did fit the setting.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like blaring in your ears, so it's not like you're entirely focusing on it.
Right, right.
It's enough to just keep you in the game mindset, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd recommend it if you ever wanted to try a roguelike, if you're a little worried about going really to the deep end.
Yeah.
This is a good test of waters.
Yeah.
But, I mean, why not? It's free. Go check it out.
Yeah, exactly.
And I would say support the game releases.
Yeah.
I'm sure I will.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
I mean, 12, I'm assuming there were 12. I can't remember from the top of my head. But if there were 12 characters, I can only imagine how many are going to be on release.
Right.
Because I'm sure that's not all of them from the demo. There's no way they would put all the characters available in the full game in the demo.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, no, I don't think so either. Yeah, I mean, I'd have to give it a 5 too because I just I enjoyed it so much. So, and I think it'd be one of those games I will buy once it comes out full.
Like I play a lot of roguelikes, and I even have a specific section on my Xbox where it shows all my roguelikes. And I would say out of all of them I have, I think Sticking to the Stickman is probably one of the best ones. And that's crazy because the ones I have are full games, not demos. So the fact that the demo is better to some of the games I have in comparison, that's kind of nuts. That kind of makes me excited for the full game.
Yeah, I agree.
Like you have others like Dead Cells, which is also pretty good. What other ones are there? There's Dead Cells. There's Spelunky 2, Undungeon, Neon Abyss, Rogue Legacy 2, Dicey Dungeons, even Space Lines from Afar Out. We've covered that in the past. And Slay the Spire, we covered that too. The Scourgebringer, and of course the Binding of Isaac. But I mean, I'm kind of impressed with the game, with Stick It to the Stickman. I mean, it's funny because you look at the game and it's one of those games that looks so simplistic. You feel like maybe it'd be okay, you know? And then you go into it and it gets 10 times better. It's one of those games that you don't judge the book by its cover. Because I'll admit, there are a lot of Stickman games out there. A lot. If you go onto the Play Store or whatever you play on your phone, you're going to find a lot of those games. And that's why I'm thinking like this, because it's a Stickman game and people will just look over that because it's a Stickman game.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, you have some popular ones like Stick Fight the Game. That's very popular. But, well, not as popular as it was, but it was very popular. It's just try it.
Yeah,
I recommend it. 100%.
Yep. Yeah.
Even if at first you don't like it, at least try to get into it, and you just might.
Right.
Because even if it's a demo, it's a roguelike. You can play it an infinite amount of times as you please. That's what's also amazing about it.
Yeah.
If you really didn't want to, you don't have to buy the full game.
Yeah, right.
I still recommend you should when it comes out.
Yeah.
Because honestly, I the first game's not even out yet, and I just want a second one. But yeah, I recommend go checking it out.
Yep.
And I think that's everything from the demo, at least. I don't think we missed anything.
No, I think we covered quite a bit on it.
I mean, the only other thing I could think of is that the way you go into the main building is you kind of enter through an oval. and you can go around as your character in the overworld. And I'm assuming that's where you get into the other stuff in the full game.
Yes, probably. Yep.
But other than that, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a demo. I don't know what else to say. But it's a fun demo. I recommend
Yes, it is. Absolutely.
And I feel like even if you have a low-end PC, you should be able to play it. It's not a demanding game.
Yeah. The graphics aren't like they're good, but they're not.
It's not like it's ray tracing or anything. It's
right.
not going to fry your PC.
Right. Yeah. You don't need super high-powered PC to play this.
So even if you feel like your PC might not be able to handle it, at least try it out. You can always screw with the settings.
Right. Exactly.
I mean, I'm all set. What about you?
Yeah. Nope. I think we've covered it pretty well on this one.
This gets our indestructible seal of approval.
Yeah, there you go. Absolutely.
Two 5 stars from us.
Yep.
Put that on your refrigerator.
Yep. And we don't normally give every game a gold star, so that's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we've actually had a game where we give it the max together. Have we?
Yeah, we probably
one
have.
or two.
We probably have.
We'll probably at some point we might check the other episodes out and just, I don't know, we'll do an episode and go back to games where we give it, the maximum.
Yep.
That could be an interesting episode.
Yep.
Going back and see how they aged from when we tried playing it to playing it again. See if it's as fun as we first played it.
Yep. Exactly.
That could make for a very interesting episode.
Yep.
And we can even take notes of what we said and see if we can contradict ourselves.
Yeah. Yep.
But that'll be in the future, so don't wait on that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so what's going on next episode?
So I think we're gonna try a game called Windjammers 2. And that one looks like it's kind of like
it's an arcade game, it seems.
Yeah.
It reminds me of Tron. It's Tron, but it takes place in high school. But that's just what I figure from it. We haven't played it yet.
Yeah.
That's
based
what
on
I
the
figured.
screenshots.
Based on the screenshots, it looks like high school Tron.
It could be. Who knows?
Yeah, or like college Tron or something like that. Because the characters look. I don't want to say the word hip. I really don't. That's the only way I can describe it. Hip and young. I hate that.
Yeah.
Anyways, we're going to be playing. Yeah. They're playing that next episode. And before we go, we talked about it before we started recording, and it's the start of the next episode. We are not going to say the next game. Not because we don't want to. It will just make it easier for us to just find a game we're both interested in. I don't know how to explain it. Instead of us having a game ready in advance, we can just see what interests us as time goes on. I don't know. How would you explain it? I don't know. Just
well, I think sometimes we both we'll talk about a game and we'll say, yeah, that looks interesting, and I'll look at it and be like, yeah, all right, I'll try it, and then I try the game and I'm terrible at it, or I don't get very far in it, or you get a lot further, or vice versa, or I like the game a lot and play it a lot, and you're like, this game is not my cup of tea.
This doesn't mean we're not gonna review a game like that, though. That does not mean that. We will review games like that. Games that we don't like, or games that I wouldn't say don't like. Games that we aren't feeling.
There's still going to be games that we're gonna pick that we both look at and go, oh, this looks pretty good. It just
makes it easier to find games that we want to make episodes on if we don't have one loaded up and ready.
Right. Yeah.
That way, we don't get held back from. I don't know. Say like we said, oh yeah, you're gonna do this game next, and then I don't know. A couple days later, we find a game that we're more excited to do an episode on.
Right.
And then we'd have to wait to do that. the episode we said we would.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Exactly.
So I hope anyone who's listening doesn't mind that. I mean, it's not like we're delaying episodes.
Right.
I mean,
yeah.
It's still gonna come out, I guess, whenever.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
But yeah. All right. That's that was this episode of Indestructible Gaming and More.
Yep. So I'm Muscashot. He's Mr. K.
Take it easy, folks.
Yep, and I have to hopefully it didn't come through on the microphone too much, but my dog's going crazy and needs to go out, so he's been crying behind me. So hopefully if you hear any noise in the background in this
I didn't hear
podcast,
anything, so I don't think it picked it up.
It's not anything weird going on. It's just my dog going, I need to go out. So
that's just your dog getting excited for Stick It to the Stickman.
Yeah, that's right. He's like, let's play it.
Yeah. But that's it for this episode. Stay safe, folks.
All right, we'll see you.
Peace.
Game over.
Hey guys, how's it going? I hope you enjoyed the episode. We're on Facebook and Twitter, and if you go on our website with the same name, you can also find us on all the other kinds of stuff you can listen to us to. Anyways, hope you have a wonderful day, folks. Stay indestructible, and peace.